Hey everyone, Joe here. This is part 2 of the Mixing a Metal Song from Start to Finish series. In part 2, we're focusing on the static mix, where we're not using any plugins. We've just got all the tracks in front of us. We're going to get the levels balanced so we can hear everything the way it's meant to be heard. Nothing's drowned out. Also do a little bit of panning. You can make a huge amount of progress towards the final sound of the mix just by getting the levels and the panning right, and this is only going to take maybe 5 to 10 minutes. If you haven't seen part 1 where we get everything set up, I'll leave a link on the screen now and in the description. So here we are back in our mix for the static mix, getting everything balanced. Yeah, what have we got here? So I'm going to start off by balancing the drums. No plugins, just faders. So everything's at unity gain there, at 0. Let's just solo the drums. Ungroup that because we want to be adjusting the faders separately. And I'm just going to hit play and start bringing faders down. So anything that's too loud, I'm going to be bringing it down. It's always good, I find, to have that mentality rather than bringing the quiet things up, because it means you can overall, over the course of the mix, if you have that sort of reduce the loud rather than bring up the quiet where you can, it avoids clipping. It avoids your mix, it keeps your mix from getting too loud and having to keep bring it down on the master fader or mix bus. So let's just hit play. Let's hear these drums. Okay, I think the kick's a bit loud compared to that snare, so we can bring that down a bit. I want the kick and snare about the same kind of intensity. And then already got the overheads panned. That hi-hat's a bit much. Let's bring that right down. Move it over to the left a little bit. When panning your drums, you can go for either the drummer perspective or the listener perspective. So the drummer perspective, you'd have the hi-hat on the left slightly, and then your floor tom on the right, and so on, which is normally what I go for. It just makes more sense to me. So listen to those toms. These are all panned a little bit already because they're in stereo. They're quite nicely balanced. Okay, that's quite a nice balance on the drums so far. Let's get that bass in there. So you want the bass prominently in there, but not overpowering, especially the kick and the rhythm guitars when I bring those in. Let's bring the rhythms in now. Alright, that's a bit much. We've got DI and amp recorded rhythm guitar as well. Nice to have those two options. So I'm going to bring one of them over to the left, far left, and then one over to the right. But they need to come down. Way down. Okay, maybe a little bit more bass now. I do want the guitars quite prominent. It is metal after all. And now, what about that solo? I think the second solo will be around the same. It's a bit quieter. Cool. And the vocals, we've got all the vocals doubled.
try to catch me. Beware of fire.
I'm just going to pan those slightly off center from each other.
It's a great day to die away. No one no longer can ever beat my ass. Danger in pain.
Okay.
My cocaine.
So in just about 5 minutes, we've got those levels balanced. It's much more pleasant to listen to now, and we can hear everything the way it should be heard. Everything is balanced now. We can hear everything. It really does make a huge difference, and it's sounding a lot more big and full, wider with the panning, obviously. In part 3, we are going to be finally getting out the plugins, but we're going to be focusing just on the mix bus. Again, this process is all about getting results fast. And if we start off with the mix bus, so we're affecting the entire mix, we can get a lot of results, make things sound really good in a short space of time. So hit that subscribe button, make sure you don't miss part 3, and let me know in the comments section below what's the thing that you struggle with most when you're mixing. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in part 3.